Thank you for coming. I do appreciate your time and desire to learn along with me. I wanted to continue talking more about our relationship with money because it's something that I'm studying for myself now too. I became interested in it recently, and I've never really put a lot of thought into it, but the more I learn, the more I realize how very important it is, at least in my life. And I would suspect that most everybody on the planet is the same, unless you're living in the rainforest, in the jungle, which I've also come to understand that even those folks are learning about money. Anyway, so it's also come to my attention recently that there's tools out there that are now changing the way we handle our money in our family or whatever. And that is that instead of putting savings at the bottom, where we pay all our bills and expenses first, and then whatever is left over we may or may not save. And this tool is putting savings at the top, and it's wonderful. I do believe it's great, but I'm not certain that it actually speaks to the underlying feelings that we have about money. And it really goes to the fact that we were all brought up by our parents. If they weren't our parents, we were brought up by a grandmother or somebody that had their own set of understandings and feelings about money. And, and they were taught by their parents, and so on and so on and so on. And if you think about, back in the 1920s, during the Great Depression, that decade, it really changed people's mindsets around it to a sense of scarcity rather than prosperity. And so when we think about our money, how do you feel around it? Does it feel good? Does it feel good and then sometimes bad? Do you sense that there's a possibility that it could end? You could lose your job and the flow coming in could stop, but that it would still be going out. So does that feel uncomfortable? And so I think it's a really good idea to examine our feelings around money because it touches everything in our lives. I mean, everything. It touches, start off with what it allows us to live a certain lifestyle. And within that lifestyle, it also lends itself to the kinds of people that we hang around and associate with and call our friends, call our colleagues at work. It touches every area of our lives. And right from a very young age, even in my own experience, I remember, let me tell you this little story. My parents used to leave, I don't know whether it was pocket change or whatever, but they would leave quarters. I think it was really my dad would leave the quarters on a windowsill in front of the kitchen sink, and there was a window looking out to the front street, and he would leave quarters there. I don't know why or whatever, and I remember one time I thought I needed that quarter. There was one quarter, and I took it. And there were 6 kids, but I guess I looked guilty. Or maybe they just suspected me. Anyway, I just remember being sat down and my mom basically let me have it. That's stealing, and we don't steal, and all that kind of thing. And so it left me with this really negative feeling about money. And then there were other times in my experience as a young child and young man where money was taken from me. And that had a whole other set of emotions around it. And it moved into my adult life. So early on, I never saved any money. I had a good time. Because I always felt like it was going to be taken away. So, in some way, I never really thought about how it was going to be taken away. But anyway, I did save money. I had a paper route, so I saved money. And I was a saver to a degree, and then somehow that changed. And I think that if we were to grow our own little bucket of money that we have control over, save it, however you want to think about it, that you could change the way you feel about the money. You can, think of it like this, that money needs to flow, just like our fluids inside our body flow and rivers flow, and the planet is flowing through the universe. It is moving. So everything needs to be on the move, including money, because money is energy too. There's an energy attached to it. We give it that, but there's definitely an attachment, and it can be that your money feels good all the time. It's happy, as I said in the previous message. Or it can feel really bad, like you don't have enough of it, there's too much going out. So I have begun to change the way that I look at it, in the sense that, some serious saving, in that we put it inside of this whole life dividend paying policy. So it has allowed us the discipline of saving. Now again, this is only 3.5 years. We've certainly saved money and spent money all these other years, but it's more of a conscious effort. And so this product allows you to do that. And while that's going on, you can be thinking about your relationship with it. And it was brought to my attention a particular way that a gentleman thought about it, that it's your new friends are coming in, into your checking account, savings account. And then these good friends are leaving to go take care of something for you that you want or need, paying your electric bill, all that, water bill. And they're going off and doing a service for you. And so thinking of it as something that's coming and going, old friends, new friends, and bring your friends back with you when you come back. That kind of thinking can really enhance the way you feel about money. And the happier you feel about money coming and going, the more of it will probably want to come to you, because the energy that you're giving it as it goes away and the energy as it comes to you will change to be more positive. So if you just have that humble awareness that this is true, that if you develop a pool or a bucket of money, there is one big, huge bucket of money in the world, and it's divvied up amongst all the people on the planet. But if you have your own pool of cash to do as you wish, it can be a new relationship. You don't have to go to the bank and fill out all these forms and give them 2 or 3 years of your tax returns and all that. You can just make a phone call. If it's over 25,000, many times they ask you to fill out a form. But if it's anything under that, you can just do it online, and it just shows up in your bank account to do what it is that you wanted to do with that money. And be sure to pay it back. Always pay it back, just like you would if you were taking the loan directly from a commercial bank. So just having that humble awareness and knowing that this is true, that you would have the opportunity to create a different relationship with your money if you had that pool, that bucket of money at your disposal as you saw fit. So you can watch that pool of money grow, and while it's growing, you can actually be using a bit of it. So in the first, second, third year, there may not be quite as much cash value, but there'll be some. It certainly has been our experience, and we have financed a number of things and paid it all back. So it's the coming and going of the money that creates the adventure, an adventure of prosperity, wealth building in terms of the money, but also in terms of your relationships. Because earlier when I was talking about your friends, the way you feel about your friends and money. You know, you go out to dinner, are you going Dutch, or are you, paying, or and all that. And also the experience of life, that you can experience life, and that money doesn't have to be in control of your life, that you control it. And the way you do that is through how you feel about it, coming and going. And I hope this is helpful to you. I am continuing my education on this thought of relationship with money, and I may do another video down the road. But it's really a gift if you can have that kind of a relationship, somewhere where money feels good, whether it's coming or going. And the world, the universe, the energy, the positive energy, the universal energy, the God energy, many times will bring more to you because it feels that sense of ease and that sense of joy and happiness emanating from you, because we are energy as well. So with that, I'm going to move on, and we'll catch up next time. But thank you very much for coming, and do take a look at the bonuses. And I've been putting a bonus on these bonus video, a financial one, and also some other stuff. But anyway, you can take a look at those too. And thank you. And if you would, please like and share so that we can get this message out, these messages out. I think it's really vitally important to the world, instead of having that mindset of scarcity, but to have one of prosperity and giving and sharing and taking care of one another. Anyway, until next time, thanks for listening. Be well.